So I've started my mural in my downstairs laundry but toilet area. And already I've made a mistake because I used the wrong green initially. So I had to use another green. Go and get my other green and change it. The mural is based on this tiny little thing I did. So it's all a learning curve. I tried to use this very large spreader because that's how I did the background on that. I used a spreader, but this one is too big. I'm not managing it. And this one's much better. And also what I've found is when you squirt paint onto a paper, it goes straight down. But when you are putting it onto a wall, it also goes straight down all the way to the floor. So I've had to develop a technique for that. So what I'm doing is I'm squirting paint onto the spreader and then I'm spreading it onto the wall, which is working much better. And yes, now, after I made that mess and had to clean it up, I've put a drop sheet down. I should have done in the first place, but I was being impatient. So anyway, we have begun. So the other thing is this wall is not very even. So I'm finding I need to go in and just spread the paint into some of the white areas. Also, this is hard on your back because you're bending over, hard on your knees because you're going up and down ladders, and I need to open the window because go over here and open my window, because with this much paint spread out, there is some fumes from the acrylic paint. So this is just acrylic paint. It's not wall paint for this layer. It's the Stabilo acrylics that I'm using just for this underlayer. Anyway, so here we are. We're this far along. So 2 tubes of paint down, but there's a lot of paint on the wall now. So we're getting there, including in this tricky little corner down here. So on the way. So when you're doing a mural and you change your mind about something, that's a lot of extra painting. So I've decided to put a border around the actual painting that I'm doing on the wall. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I like borders, and my little original painting has got this border around it. I've always liked borders. I don't like straight lines in paintings. There's nothing more satisfying than a nice straight line around a painting. But that's not the only reason. The other reason is I just found the orange that was at the top too intense and dominating in the room. I had some thoughts about how to fix that, but this fixes it. And the other thing was, because it went from this door to, visually anyway, to this mirror, it connected the door and the mirror together, which made this end of the room very tight feeling and constrained. It's not a very big room. It's not, in fact, I'm trouble to get the whole thing in. It's not a very big room, so making the door and the mirror feel like they're next to each other just crumpled that end of the room a lot. So there's the first coat of my white border. And I decided to do it white rather than the wall, so the white border is actually a part of my mural design. But am I going to a picture on the wall that I could have actually painted and hung there separately? I don't know. Anyway, I'm learning about murals. I'm a lot happier with this. I've removed the red from the top and given a different texture up there. I used a stick to get some of these little dark lines in. And now I'm thinking about how to incorporate this effect with these little squares. I've still got to think it through, and I've got to wait till what's on there is dry before I do any of that. But yeah, it's coming along. I'm rather excited because I think it's finished. I managed to add these squares tonight, which have worked really well. I didn't want them to be too standing out, but I wanted them to be obvious. And pink, of course. I'm really, really pleased. I also put these little green shapes in here and added some of the shiny green at the top. Shininess is important to me. This room doesn't get sun even in the summer, but it's always a bright little room, and I just really want to have that reflection happening. So yay, I'm finished. Just doing some final tweaks this morning. I've added some soft squares at the top. I've sort of made the squares into a circle because I like that organic shape. I have trouble having straight lines, but I've also added some more blue to my biggest shapes. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. This is it, I think. This is done. I made the squares by, I cut a sponge, kitchen sponge, into a square and just used that to print onto the wall. But I marked the places with a white woody, and now that I've painted over it, the woody has been captured underneath in some of the places. It's quite a fun little detail. So my mural is finished, and this is the big reveal going into my downstairs toilet room, where I have a washing machine, toilet, this lovely little window, and over here to the mirror in which you can see the mural. And I have to step all the way back because obviously it takes up a lot of space. But there it is, the finished mural. This room doesn't get any direct sun ever. It's always a bright little room. I've got some other quite colourful things in here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it.